Super Mario Sunshine on the Nintendo Switch is a masterclass in game design. But as we all know, in the world of video games, graphical fidelity is the be-all, end-all factor used in determining a game's worth. And the reality of the situation is that Nintendo's portable home console hybrid electronic device just isn't up to snuff in delivering that crisp 4K resolution, 60 frames per second experience that gamers crave. In comes Nintendo's mid-generation refresh, the Switch Pro, which promises to deliver stunning 60 frames per second at true uncompromised 4K native resolution, both on its portable OLED screen and on that same $100 Samsung monitor you've been using for the past 5 years that only outputs at 1080p. But does the Switch Pro live up to that promise? After clearing my check from Nintendo, I am happy to report that the Switch Pro is indeed worth its $700 asking price. Across the board, texture resolution receives a noticeable bump in real-time rendering. When playing on the base model Switch, if I zoom in to this tiny coin in the distance, you can make out the jagged edges that surround its circumference. On the Switch Pro, there's an appreciable reduction in jaggies thanks to the new integrated GPU that allows for super sampling anti-aliasing. Now, normally a gamer is not going to zoom in on distant objects to observe image clarity, but I'm going to pad out this video with zoomed in images anyway, because during actual gameplay, when you're in motion, you won't observe any tangible difference in resolution. But if I take still images and zoom in, you can see exactly what your $700 is getting you. Distant foliage no longer exhibits that strange dithering issue thanks in part to the temporal upsampling used to replace the pre-existing bilinear upscaler used on the base model Switch. The more jargon I use, the more difficult it is to understand what the hell I'm talking about. But to put it simply, the machine learning-based AI upscaler powered by the new proprietary CPU properly aliases the meshes used to ensconce the polygons, whereas before, the outsourced CPU was incapable of delivering a properly aliased image quality. Shadow resolution rivals that of reality. On the Switch Pro, I couldn't tell if the shadows were rendered in-engine or cast by the light rays beaming in from outside my bedroom window. On the base Switch, if you slowly walk around at an unnatural pace, you can observe the blurry skin filter applied on the NPC inhabitants. The skin texture has been improved tremendously on the Pro model, with a specular sheen reflecting on the skin thanks to the brand new NVIDIA-based GPU capable of real-time lighting. The GPU is also capable of ray trace reflections if you drop the resolution down to 1080p and bring the frame rate to 30 frames per second, but it's worth it to see this real-time rendered reflection on these solar panels. The baked reflections used in prior iterations of the Switch display an improper reflection when the camera is tilted along its y-axis to display an overhead view. This pulls the player out of the experience, and is likely to result in him shutting off his Nintendo Switch in favor of playing games capable of rendering ray trace reflections on more powerful hardware. Now, Super Mario Sunshine is renowned for its beautiful water effects, which have seen a remarkable boost in rendering on the Pro. The base Switch rendered the water with simplistic normal maps, whereas the Pro model uses vertex displacement maps to generate a more realistic water shader. The results speak for itself. The frame rate has also been increased to a blistering fast 60 frames per second, heretofore unheard of in the world of interactive media. Some select titles on the Switch Pro may or may not target up to 120 frames per second, but as we are all aware, nobody plays games past 60 frames per second anyhow. There definitely don't exist monitors with refresh rates in the triple digits, and nobody on PC plays at higher frame rates. Besides, you're a console gamer, you're used to sub 30 frames per second, so just accept the targeted 60 frames per second here and call it a day. Gamers have been upset at Nintendo's lack of software support this generation, but the Switch Pro is proof that Nintendo understands what gamers crave most. For just $700, you can get the most marginal of upgrades for your favorite GameCube port, and experience the true definitive director's cut of Super Mario Sunshine that Nintendo has wanted to deliver for the past 20 years, but was unable to accomplish until now. The $80 dock is sold separately, the cartridge slot is another $80 add-on, and Joy-Con drift will never be addressed, but take a look at what you're getting in return. A console capable of beautiful resolution detail and unmatched performance. That is the only thing that matters. So if you've been waiting 22 years to play Super Mario Sunshine, it may be worth waiting a couple months longer so you can experience this wonderful title on the Switch Pro. Definitely do not wait for a PC port. Definitely do not build a PC, period. Continue to support Nintendo with your disposable income so you can brag to all of your friends and coworkers about how you got your hands on a shiny new electronic device. Purchasing products is a monumental effort and should be incorporated as part of your identity if it isn't already. And with that, I will now pre-order my own copy of the Nintendo Switch Pro. Pre-orders will become available at most popular online retailers in the coming weeks, so make sure to turn on at least 50 different Twitter alerts so you can snag your own copy before the eBay scalpers start listing them for $1,500.